so thankful. Amen. Brother George, he called me, let me know where to go. He was out last week. He was in Texas, showing off all his spices and all through Texas, cooking for folk all from France, Italy, everywhere. Amen. Trying to get his spices. Amen. And he said he had to pull out that old catfish and they lost their mind. I believe him. Man, he'll talk back to me. Amen. So we thank him. You know, I had to grow. Let me tell you where I had to grow. And you'll appreciate this. I had to grow because the old paradigm was you are to be at church no matter what. Catch this. No matter what. You got to be at church. But my older brother had to help me with this. He said, look, bro, he said, you got to realize, he said, as people begin to walk in their purpose, sometimes their God-given purpose may cause them to have to miss a service. Amen. Amen. But the old paradigm said, no matter what go on, you be at church. Well, what do you do when the blessing you prayed for cause you maybe to have to miss a Sunday? I had to grow because Pastor Colton raised me that you be in church no matter what. So here it is. That's why we got a generational gap in our churches, because we taught parents to be at church regardless of what your kids were involved in. That's right. Your kids could be playing football, basketball, whatever it is. Don't you miss church to support your children. And guess what? Their children got older, now they forget the church. Because when they needed our support, we were not there. Huh? You got to be found supporting yours. Now, when you get due, just come on back. Hello? If you missed a tithe in the offering, when you come back, now you want to talk back to me? They had a saying, they say in the streets, when you come back, just double up. I'm like y'all been in church all your life. The 14th verse said, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Verse 15, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on the candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Verse 16, let your light so shine before me. I told God, don't bother me with this scripture. Because the revelation came, I didn't want to bother. First of all, he said, let. The problem with some of y'all, your light only shines if you make it. But when it's a real light, you don't have to make it shine. You just be who you are and let it shine. Did y'all catch me? Let your light shine. Here it is. Before men. I said, God, don't bother me with this. Before men. See, the problem is we like to let our light shine to those that are in church. That's right. The only time we shine is when we're in the four walls. But the light was not created for light. Light was created to combat darkness. So now if you're walking in darkness and your light ain't shining, that means when you're in the church and you think your light is shining, that really ain't your light. You just jumping off somebody else's light. Before men, not church folk. Can I tell you something? Who cares what church folk think about you? Me, he said, I came to seek and to save that which is lost, not that which is already found. He said, so before men, that they may see your good works. Look at your neighbor and say, you got any works? And glorify your Father which is in heaven. All right, for a few moments, would you look at your neighbor and say, neighbor? Tell them this, say, oh neighbor, I'm getting ready to shine. Now, I want to say this because some of you all, for so long, you dumb it down who you were because you didn't want folk to feel uncomfortable being around you. But if there's anybody in here, you come to understand, listen, I don't have to make it shine. It just shines all by itself because that's who God created me to be. I can no longer try to hide who I am to make you feel comfortable. So maybe if you having a problem, maybe you need to find somebody else to hang out with, because everywhere I go, I got to let my light shine, because that is who I am. Have you ever found yourself walking around in the dark? Some of us are able to walk in our houses when it gets dark because we are familiar with our surroundings. We know where everything is at. Have you ever been there, maybe in the dark, walking in the dark, and you were doing something, Sister Judy, you were doing something, you heard that thing say, oh. What that meant was the empower, y'all never talk back to me, just went out. And you end up walking around in the dark. And when it gets dark, you find yourself trying to get to the box to get you some reprieve. Y'all not going to talk back to me. When you grab both buttons, mash them. Y'all not going to talk back to me. Lord have mercy. Walking in the dark. But walking in the dark only works in places you are familiar with. Here it is. Sometimes we find ourselves in dark situations not knowing what to do. Why is this going on? Have you ever asked the Lord the question, how come you end up in so many crazy scenarios? All right. How come you're surrounded by so many people that are walking in darkness? How come everybody around you seems to be consumed with darkness? Have you ever considered that maybe you are the light that they need? Maybe God put folk that are dark around you because he wanted you to turn your light on. Now, I got a problem. What do you do when you come around and it gets darker? What do you do when you contribute to the darkness? There are different things that parade in the dark. Have you ever noticed that in the dark, that's when bugs play? Don't act like y'all ain't never been to somebody's house and they had a little bug flying through. And then when you go there and you happen to see one, then they act like that's the first one they ever seen. Y'all gotta go talk about. Yeah. Like, they don't know what's going on. But when there's darkness, things are able to hide. Can I tell y'all something? Let's be spiritual now. There are some spirits that only operate in the dark. There are some emotions that only come upon you at night. Because those spirits don't like the daytime. That's right. That's why some of you all, it's best when night falls, go to bed. That's free counseling. Go to bed. Because there's sometimes things happen. But he said here, ye are the light of the world. Because the Bible said, I'm not mad at y'all that like to spend time in darkness and doing those things. He said, ye are the light of the world. He said, now we are in the world, but we're not of the world. In other words, there ought to be a noticeable difference. You and I cannot do everything that you see others doing. We can't do it. Now, I'll be honest with y'all, I preached a funeral yesterday. I said, Lord, what have I got myself into? I was there waiting for service to start, and quite naturally I walked down to look at the body before they closed, and I was getting ready to open and conduct the service. I walked down there, got to the casket, I looked off in there, and it looked like I was looking inside Reddy's corner. Oh, y'all not gonna talk back to me. For those of y'all that ain't been around in a while, on 16th and Johnson. We used to walk the Reddy's corner after Sunday school and get our candy. Amen. I looked off in the casket. There was a bottle of Hennessy. There was a 40-ounce can off in there. All these things. And they wanted me to put him in heaven. In heaven. Now, I ain't gonna say that it won't be some folk in heaven that's been drunk before. All right. But you ain't going to heaven drunk. Did y'all hear what I just said? I ain't gonna say that there won't be nobody in there that ain't never been drunk. But I don't believe you walking through the gates drunk. And so he said, ye are the light of the world. What that signifies to me is there is some true darkness going on. Listen, light has so many meanings for us. We organize everything we do by our ability to see the light. The Bible says, work while it is day, for when the night cometh, no man shall be able to work. There's certain things you only do in the daytime, certain kind of jobs, because at night you won't be able to see. Let's be honest, sometimes at night it do get scary. Yes. Oh, you're not going to talk back to me. I didn't realize how dangerous night was until I went to Nigeria. All right. Oh, you're not going to talk back to me. Where you driving down the street with no street lights. The only light is the light on the vehicle. Oh, you're not going to talk back to me. Yeah. Dark. Well, you in the bedroom and the generator cut off, you can't even see. Oh, have mercy. Nothing. This is dark. The bishop said, now you're not going on, you don't leave out your room. I said, you can't worry about that. Yeah. I ain't going nowhere, don't worry about that. Every lock I could find, I had on that door. But when you talk about darkness, I didn't realize how important the light was until there was a true absence of light. Some of you, I want to serve notice on you. Have you considered that maybe the reason why more folk in your family are not saved is because your light is not shining like it should? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Most of us want to get a pass with our family. But they know that's just me. That's how I am. But if your light is going to shine, sometimes you're going to get on your family's nerves. Sometimes your own family ain't going to even want to deal with you. Folk that let their light shine, they call it brand new. Thanks to all that. He done forgot where he come from. No. Can I tell you something? Your light is so expensive. Hallelujah. You cannot afford to let your light go out. Now, ye are the light of the world. Somebody got to live saved. Amen. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? Amen. Somebody got to live this thing we talk about. Yes, sir. Oh, God. Why come to church and don't mean business and die and be lost? I'm striving day by day to see him in peace. I'm telling y'all straight up, if I did not mean heaven all the way, I wouldn't put up with what I put up with in the church. Now some of y'all can act like you don't put up with nothing in the church, you don't put up with church folk, but I do. I don't know what kind of folk you deal with. But the church folk will test. The church folk can find every bit of that last nerve. Church folk will step on your foot on purpose and tell you stay safe. I thought he was a Christian. I thought he was saved. Tell her I am, but I'm going to ask for forgiveness after I woke Satan designs scenarios. Here it is. The greatest thing you and I have is our witness. If your witness is marred, hallelujah. If they can put a mark on your name, that's all they want. Because every time you get up, somebody you're gonna hear. You know, we don't church folks don't even have to say nothing. All they got to do is make sound. Listen, Ruth and Lee, she was the master. She didn't say much, but she make us. That's my grandma. And what that mean? That meant You say, we are the light of the world. Amen. What he's saying is everywhere you walk, darkness ought to give way to you because you are the light of the world. Most folks don't even know how to handle you because they don't realize you're the light that they need. Most folks hate on you because they know as long as they keep you around, they can't walk in darkness. That's why sometimes when stuff goes on in your family, they you the last one they call because a lot of times when folks going through, they want to have a pity party and they don't want to hear no good news to tell them come out of that. So you'll be the last one they call because they know when they call you, you gonna give them a real word from the Lord. So while I'm having my pity party, I'm not going to call you. So you don't have to worry because when you are true light, them folk ain't going to deal with you. They're not going to call you. Why? Some stuff I don't listen, man. I tell you, you ain't got to call me. I don't even care. I'm a loner. I'm a loner. I'm off by nature. Y'all not going to talk back to me. I don't mind spending time by myself. Hello? I'm not call and say, where you at? I'm at the church. What you doing? You in my office? Where Papa? At home? I'm by myself. Huh? Because if I get on my own nerves, I know how to get off of it. Y'all if I bother myself, I know how. But see, let me tell you something. If some of y'all learn how to spend time by yourself, then you'll stop worrying about trying to fit in. And here it is. Most of us, we trying to fit in. Most of us are trying to fit in boxes that were never designed to hold us anyway. And so then I told a young lady last night, here it is. I told a young lady, the Lord told me to speak to her and said, stop comparing yourself to people. Baby, listen, how you going to compare yourself to somebody you greater than to begin with anyway? And so then when you start trying to compare yourself to people, you bring them down to your level. And so I tell them, you can't compare me to nothing because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So unless you compare me to the way God sees me, baby, we don't even need to have this conversation. Because everywhere I go, I just shine. I can't hear nobody say nothing to me. I just do what I do. I was created. I was talking to Brother George the other day, and I was in there cooking, and Duda, she said, Daddy, I seen Brother George, and you know, Duda, she lied. She'll make up a story. She said, I seen Brother George. I said, Duda, don't start. I knew she was getting ready to get started with one other story. I said, don't start. She said, no, for real, Daddy, I seen Brother George. I said, how did you see Brother George? She went in there and grabbed that salt, that seasoning that he made. I had a big picture on there. She said, see me right here. Me right here. What I'm saying is, listen, if you are and you got something, you just are who you are. Ain't nothing I can take from whatever you got going on, whatever your skill set is. Now, Big Mike drive buses. He drive the big buses. Ain't no need to be hating on one of them big buses, because if I have to drive one, I know I'm going to tear up at least 2 or 3 cars. Y'all not going to talk back to me. But if you just do what God has called you to do. Now, here it is. But this is how we think. If I get a bus for the church, but I don't want Big Mike like to get no shine, so I'm going to drive the bus myself. Don't you know how retarded you are? God puts things in the body so that the body can flow together. And so here it is. If I'm wasting time driving the bus, I could be doing something else to further the ministry while he's operating in his gift. But can I tell you how God works? I can get beside myself and drive the bus, and God calls me to have an accident on purpose to prove to me stay in your lane. And if you got somebody that can do it, let them do what it is they do. And so back to business, some of us are hating on folk, and if you got their position, you couldn't handle it no kind of way. So just do what it is you know how to do. Tell them all the time. The only way people have accidents is because they get out of their lane. He said, you are the light of the world. Look at what he said here. A city that is set on the hill cannot be hid. What you don't understand is where I'm at, God put me here, and you can't throw enough shade to block what God is trying to do. You can't hate on me enough to change God's mind. And so some of us, we so silly that we believe if I hate on you enough that it'll change God's mind concerning you. But don't you realize that sometimes you didn't even know, you thought you was hating on me to destroy me. Now, baby, you just qualified to be one of my enemies. And so he said, I'll prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemy. So back to business every now and then. I love when people start hating on my light. I be wanting to tell them, go get some more folk so everybody can start hating, because the more folk that hate on me, the bigger my table gonna be. Is there anybody that says, I'm ready for a big table? Just keep hating on what you think you don't understand. Keep on trying to dog me out, baby, that's all right. I done been dogged out before. That's all right. I done been talked about before. That's all right. I done been stabbed in the back before. I done been lied on before. I done been hated on before. Don't nothing change, baby. I ain't thinking about you. But I'm going to keep on walking. The Paul said I press for the mark, for the prize. There's a prize waiting on me. So while you hate on me, I'm going to keep on walking. Can I tell you something? I found out that haters only hate on people in front of them, never nobody behind them. So if you hate on me, that means I'm in front of you. So I ain't even gonna act like I see you. I'm gonna keep on walking because maybe you behind me. I heard one of my friends, one of the preachers say, he said the other night to the Jackie, the preacher said, listen, there was a moment in time when you got people hating on you. The preacher said there was a moment in time where I didn't even know you existed. He said, so if we need to go back to that time where I didn't even know you existed, maybe we can press the reset button. Forget you forgot you, never thought about you. Stop. He said, you are a city that sits on the hill. He said, it cannot be hid. In other words, listen, I don't care what they do, they can't stop. Look at somebody and say, I'm getting ready to shine. So he said this here. Now, I want you to understand something. He said, oh God, help me. He said this, so now we're sitting that sits on the hill. And so you got to understand, hallelujah. So he said, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Can I tell you something? Life changes if we embrace each other's light. How powerful we would be if we embrace each other's light. Oh God. I had to, they're preparing for the Black and White Social. I'm being honest with y'all. There's some stuff I don't even like it. I don't be trying to say it rude. Some stuff. But then they said, well, what about da-da-da-da? She said, can you talk to Sister Jackie? I said, listen, please. I said, call Sister Jackie. I don't care nothing about a curtain nor a tablecloth. That's what you're talking about. Oh. But how I look at Sam down there, give me about a yard of this fabric. You ain't got time to be working on no fabric. I don't care how many inches you need. Just cover the table up. You ain't gonna talk back to me. Because the last time we had a wedding, I set up, it wasn't a cloth over, everything was plastic. You hear me? I had blue plastic tablecloths, purple plastic tablecloths. You're not gonna talk back to me. You fool with me, everything in the church will be plastic. Hello, somebody. But I stay where I know. I don't have time. That ain't part of my life. How does this look? Oh! Y'all ain't gonna talk back to me. I got a few married men over here. They'll admit it, hopefully. Sometimes they say, "Boy, say, how does this look? You ain't even looking. Oh, that's nice." Y'all ain't gonna talk back to me. But it's about the light. He said, now, letting your light shine. Touch your neighbor and say, I'm getting ready to shine. Listen, so now, we're getting ready to give a warning. And me letting my light shine. Whoever can handle it, me being who God created me to be, the only thing you can do is two things. Either close your eyes or go get some sunglasses. But no longer will I cover up who I am to make you feel comfortable. You mean to do this? You mean to tell me all the hell I went through to get this anointing, and you want me to chill out so that you can feel comfortable, and you ain't never went through nothing, ain't never been nowhere, don't want to go through nothing? No, the devil is a lie. Baby, I've been through too much in my life. I've given up too much in my life. Y'all not going to talk back to me. I got saved when at the age of 13 years old. All of my life, all I know is the church. Y'all not going to talk back to me. I didn't do the clubbing thing. I didn't do the drinking thing. I didn't do the smoking thing. I didn't do the sexing thing. I was in the church at 13. I got filled with the Holy Ghost at the age of 15. And all I know is the church. And so you need to tell me, because I dedicated myself to God, and you don't appreciate it. Now you want me to act like that God ain't been good to me. The devil is a lie. I'm getting ready to shine. I'm getting ready to let my light shine everywhere I go. I'm telling the Lord, if you can use anything, Lord, here am I. If you need an example, God, you can use me. If you're ready to bless somebody, here I am. And he said, let your light so shine before men. I'm tired of believers that your Holy Ghost only works in the church. The devil is a lie. Everywhere I go, I'm telling the world that Jesus saves. Everywhere I go, I'm letting the world know that for God I live and for God I die. Everywhere I go, I'm telling the world, you don't have to get high to feel good. You don't have to get There's something in you. There's something in you that God needs. God put you in darkness on purpose. That's why everybody around you crazy. Because he put you in that to be the stabilizing force. But if you get off with them, what are we going to do? What are we going to do if everybody, if everybody lose hope, what are we going to do? Here it is. And your light is not conducive to how old you are.
That's right. That's right.
You got nothing to talk back to me. Some of y'all here, God wants to use your life's experience to show the world.
Amen.
You had to go through what you went through.
Yes.
Do you understand why I'm telling y'all we in this thing together? Listen to Pastor Newton Good. I have no history at running the street. Well, y'all not gonna talk back to me. If I did any running in the street, I was trying to get away from a dog. I was trying to get fit up. So if there's somebody, listen, I'm being for real with y'all. I've never. Look, I've seen both of my brothers. Paul and brother, they had to rush him at a place in Tempe. They called. He hit something. His eyes rolled to the back of his head. Fell out backwards. Had to call the paramedics to come get him. I told him, I don't know what there was you smoked. But whatever you do, don't smoke that no more. Yeah. My preacher friend, he's preaching now, a friend of mine, told me he got drunk, so drunk, Mr. Maurice, one time he was so drunk, he got home from drinking, pulled into his driveway. He was so drunk, he thought he was in the house and got in his bed. Yeah. When he woke up, he was up under his car, asleep. Wow. He said he felt himself pulling the cover on top of him. When he woke up, he was on his drive park under his car. Yeah. Guess what? I don't have that testimony.
All right.
Listen. So listen. Can I tell y'all, be honest with y'all? I'm not going to go get drunk just so I can tell her, he's a deliverer. Let this be. I'm not going to do that. If you know he's a deliverer, you can raise your hand. And when I'm preaching, I say yeah, God can do it. And then when I get to that part, I'll throw you the mic. You say, he's a deliverer. So here it is. Your testimony. I'm a pastor. But I got some testimonies you don't have, and you got some I don't have. But together, just that's right here it is. You cannot be ashamed of where you come from. Huh? You ain't be ashamed. I pledged my fraternity, Mother Nelson, I pledged my fraternity, and after I crossed, we had brothers came from all over. It was our region, on the West Coast region. It was 200-some brothers came in Arizona. And them brothers everybody was getting brands. They were getting brands, but they were going to put the symbol on the horn. I said, man, are you crazy? Y'all ain't burning me with nothing. Just tell me how yours turned out, and we'll be good.
You were satisfied.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I don't have no shame in telling you. They got a word they use, say L7 square. That's me. I know how to. Maybe I can get into any conversation and talk to you. But if you be ashamed of who you are, he said, if you deny me before men, I'll deny you. Here it is. It's not what you do good that anoints you.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Some of us thought it was our perfection. that anointing. It's the struggles, the things you've been through, the
Yes.
things you've been out
Thank you, Jesus.
of. Here it is. Here it is. If you find people walking in darkness constantly contacting you, that's because there is light on the inside of you that God needs you to release into the atmosphere. He said, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works. Somebody say good works. Good works. Just keep working. Just keep working. Can I tell you something? Because those that are hating on you eventually fall off. Amen. Amen. Can I give y'all a secret? There's one fuel that hatred needs. And this fuel, if you supply it, it'll keep hatred going. One fuel that haters live on and it fuels hatred. Somebody say, what is it? What is it? Acknowledgement. Acknowledgement. What do you mean acknowledgement? If you acknowledge it,
Right.
then they'll know that it affects you.
Right.
And they keep going. They keep going. As long as you acknowledge it, then they'll say, okay, I got it. I'm going to keep it going. But the moment you stop acknowledging it, they'll fade away and go on to something else. That's why you just keep on. Here it is. If you just keep working, those that are hating on you are eventually going to fall off.
That's right.
Because once they realize it don't work,
That's right.
it don't work. It takes too much energy to be hating on people. It takes too much energy. It takes too much energy to just constantly hating. Because guess what? Sister Lisa, then you got to remember you're supposed to be hating. Oh, y'all not gonna talk back to me. You got to remember. You don't like they cooking, but then you get caught smacking your lips. After you done ate the whole plate, who cooked this, Sister Diva? You know, I thought something was kind of, after you done swallowed the whole dinner. You done ate up everything, now you remember. That's what I'm saying. As long as you don't acknowledge these things, it won't continue. Here it is. Let your light shine before men. I'm releasing a greater anointing. Here it is. My prayer today is that everybody's been hating on you, that God release a glory that's going to make them literally go crazy. Amen. That God release a glory that's going to bother them to no end. Listen, I hear y'all and I agree in the spirit with y'all. Some of y'all literally have done nothing to hurt anybody. Amen. You just wanted to please God. Yes. You just wanted God to be acceptable with your word. Amen. And folks still bother you. Yes. I hear the Lord saying, they're not going to stop bothering you, but I'm going to run them crazy with your light. Yes. Amen. Yes. Amen. Amen. Here it is. Stop praying for those folks to stop hating on you. Stop. Don't pray that prayer. You tell them, Lord, let my light shine even brighter. Give me more grace. Amen. Give me more glory. Amen. One of the hardest things, if you've never experienced, one of the hardest things is being part of a system that you no longer fit in. But unable to leave because you haven't been released. All right. Huh? Being a part of a system that you helped design, but that no longer fits your DNA for ministry. Oh, y'all not going to talk back to me. Huh? Sometimes God will cause you to outgrow situations. And in outgrowing situations, you outgrow people. But you cannot leave prematurely because you'll mess up. As many as are led by the Spirit, you got to be led by His Spirit. In this season, it's so crucial. Amen. Huh? I realize God is showing me now how many people are literally connected to my life in my. And if I leave, I'm going to hurt somebody. Here it is. God doesn't get us for leaving prematurely. He gets us because we wounded somebody that needed our life.
Right. Yes.
The Bible says the least you do unto my little one. Somebody's depending on your light. So if you move too quick, you're going to pull the light from somebody.
Yes.
And everything that happened to them while they're in darkness is going to be on your head. Lift your hands. Haven't you figured out that God gave you an extra dose of strength? He gave you an ability to deal with folk. When other folk crumble, you're still hanging in there. Some of you have been under such intense scrutiny, intense frustration, and pain. God, where is the relief? And here it is. Some of you in your prayer time, you tried to find reasons to justify what you've been going through so that you could accept it. But you know in your heart of hearts you haven't done nothing to anybody.
That's right.
The only thing you're guilty of is letting your light shine.
Amen.
The only thing you're guilty of is being chosen by God.
Amen.
From the foundation of the world. Oh God. You were called from your mama's womb.
Amen.
Some of y'all didn't realize you were anointed as a child to deal with crazy folk.
Oh, yes.
That's why it's so easy. I look back at my life now, how my mama raised us and things she did. She didn't realize she was preparing me to be a pastor. Didn't even know it. Preparing me how to deal with folk. Some of y'all saying, Lord, use me. People getting on your nerves. As God uses you, there's going to be some folk that's going to get on your nerves.
Yes, sir.
Don't y'all think that Jesus just had it easy, just everybody just did good and all that? No. He specialized in off people. Touched people. Let your light so shine.
Amen.
Yeah. Father, today,
Yes, Lord.
forgive us because there were moments we wanted to turn our lights off.
Jesus.
Father, forgive us because there were moments it was easier just to turn it off
Right now, Lord.
than to deal with people.
Yes.
It was easier just to walk away and say, I'm done. And for those of you in here, you're right. There's some of you in here, you get more respect in the street than you get in the church.
Right, Lord.
But that paradigm is getting ready to shift. Not the time to give up. But your light is getting ready to shine. Don't worry about fitting in. Man, you weren't designed to fit in. I don't know how much more I could even help you to understand that. That's part of your frustration, to keep trying to fit in. And the devil is so slick, he wants us to fit in with folk that don't even like us. You could care less about me, but I'm busy trying to fit in, and all the devil is allowed, I'm getting ready to shine. Hallelujah. Getting ready to shine.
Thank you, Jesus.
And I pray that you operate with the spirit of forgiveness.
Thank you.
Because the ones that cause you the most grief don't even realize you're really their biggest blessing. And God, you have such a way of making us humble ourselves down.
Oh, yes.
And giving the person that really we need to push us over the top is normally the person we hate the most. But that's your way of causing us to be humble.
Oh, yes.
Realizing, God, that all things are working together
Jesus.
for our good.
Thank you.
Father, help us to clean our light bulbs. Get rid of any dust,
Oh, yes.
anything that's clouding
Right now, Lord.
our light from shining.
Yes.
The world is full of darkness. The world is full of chaos. The world is full of trouble.
Yes.
But Father, give us what it takes
Jesus.
that our light might shine. Hallelujah. In the midst of darkness. Father, sometimes this way is a scary way.
Yes.
Because you'll give us things, oh God, that don't make sense to us.
My Lord.
But we know your voice.
Oh, yeah.
Father, you've given us the spirit of a trailblazer to go places no one else has walked before.
Yes.
But Father, we realize that goodness and mercy
Thank you.
is going to follow us all the days of our lives.
Thank you.
We have no reason to be fearful. Father, we declare now, God, that we are getting ready to shine like we've never shined
Oh,
before.
yes.
Endow us with greater wisdom.
You, Lord.
Endow us with greater understanding.
Yes. Yes.
God, give us Shanama, Keiko Sha, Kandi, give us the wisdom
Yes.
that it takes. In Jesus' name. Listen, life changers. As our light shines, God is doing things. But George, it was so amazing, and I was just big. I was just scared. I had a pastor twice my age. Church 2 or 3 times bigger than ours. Called me in tears. Said I was in prayer. And the Lord told me to call you. Here I am, young man, smaller ministry, having to pull this pastor
Yes.
back off of this ledge because of some things that didn't quite understand. But here it is. These were situations that God brought me through effectively.
Amen.
Here it is. I'm saying to myself, me? And I'm having to talk. God is going to put you in places that you never imagined that you would have to be in, but He put it in you. In you. Count it not strange how these ministry opportunities, every time ministry is not up here, say yeah.
Amen. Right.
This pastor got folk he's responsible for that I had to help bring back to a place. Beloved, don't get it twisted. God's hands are upon this house. Upon you that have been questioning your call. Questioning, what are you doing with me? Tell you something, don't you move too quick. Touch your neighbor and say, don't move too quick.
Don't move too quick.
God is trying to get us to a place. That's why life changes. I ask you, I don't want you to understand, just pray for me. I don't want you to need you to understand, but I need you to pray. Because God is literally doing some things. And He's putting your pastor in positions that's making me have to take a stance for righteousness, holiness, hallelujah, a difference maker. Will y'all pray for me? I'm serious. Will y'all pray for me? Listen, when I tell y'all this, it may sound funny, but I'm serious. I don't even mind you talking about it when you get to talking about pray for me.
Amen.
Just when you get through, just whisper a word of prayer, because there's so many things. If y'all seen that man, he left, he had to leave, he was going to testify. He was in Vietnam, the white gentleman that was up here praising the Lord.
Yes.
Was in Vietnam, suffered from PTSD, was on crystal meth for over 20-something years, on methamphetamines and all those things. He said he tried AA and all those things, but he said it was God that delivered him. That's why when folk come up here, he clapping wrong and waving that dirty wrong part, so we say. That's all right. But I don't know what it's like to be on that.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I don't know what it's like to be on those kind of things. On methamphetamine.
We gave him the secret life in Sunday school and said he was getting it all up.
This is the gospel, the good news. That God is able to help.
Yes.
This is what's coming into the church now. We can't act like. Hallelujah. Listen, I got some community meetings coming up. I need y'all prayer. Don't let them read no scripture. I need y'all to say, Lord, give my pastor what to say, how to say it, who to talk to. Our community is in trouble.
Yes. Yes.
They was killing last weekend, killed last night.
Yes. Yes.
And they reaching out. Did a meeting on, what day was it? Last week. In the meeting with some pastors in the community. Some stuff got to be done.
Right.
Hello? But God has to raise up people. Here it is. And I say, God, if you use me, I'll do it. For life changes, I need y'all prayer.
Amen.
Come on, clap your hands. Anybody, this is your first time? Like, I don't see no visitors. Anybody that's been here before? Clap your hands. Ain't no first time visitors. Listen, our black and white social is coming up. Tickets are $35.